How's everybody doing out there? Hope all is well. Hope everybody's doing good. And I'm just back here for another one. Appreciate all of the support for the people that have supported me on Twitter, YouTube, and so forth. I know I got a couple few good friends, subscribers, and I'm just trying to get that count up. But right now, I'm just pushing. It's more just about not necessarily just content, but just getting on here and talking, and seeing how we can add value to each other and so forth. So that's pretty much what this YouTube be about. These platforms, trying to see how we can help each other and all that good stuff. So get all my stuff together and talk. Y'all read books out there? I hope y'all read out there. They say reading is good for the mind. Not only do y'all, I know y'all out there eating right, but your appearance, I get that part. Staying in the gym, all of that part, I get that. And then feeding the mind, all of it also too. So y'all should at least be trying to read books and all that good stuff. So I was reading this one book about protect your peace, and nowadays the madness, you got all of these LA fires going on. There's just so much crap going on. I've been touching on these topics about black men and black women and the confrontation on how we can do things different. But yeah, so this book I was looking at, is called Protect Your Peace. And the irony is, it says, is basically 9 unapologetic principles for thriving in a chaotic world. So some of the things they were talking about is basically, like there's a constant battle both between the internal and the external. And so, everybody faces this. They jeopardize or could get in the way of your peace. So you got to be able to conquer that stuff. And I know a lot of y'all be in relationships, and sometimes the other person in a relationship, they ain't on the same page with you, so break it off, and then that's drama. Now your peace is out the window. Now you got to deal with trying to repair yourself and move on from that relationship and all of that stuff. So really think about what comes to the mind when you think of the greatest wealth in the world, like dollars, celebrities, get that blue check on Twitter, X, Facebook. I don't think Facebook got it, but getting that blue check saying that you're somebody, you got credentials, you verified who you are and all that good stuff. Let's see here. I was looking at this book, and this person was talking about how for many years of their life, they were programmed to think the way they were, and that's based on how they was raised. So it was a part of the age that they lived in. Basically it's part of the age they lived in. So isn't ironic that although there is a heavy cost that goes along with each of them items listed above, your inner peace that you cannot see or hold in the palm of your hand is what's truly priceless. That's basically what they're saying. So peace does not depend on everything going on around you. It depends on what is going on inside of you, and that's really what all of that boils down to. So I don't know, I was just reading through here. So just looking at protecting that's a big thing nowadays, your energy. It's the same thing, right? Peace, your energy. That's all the same thing. Put this thing uncomfortable. I got my shirt tucked in. But protecting your energy. So energy is everything, right? It should be protected by any means necessary, whatever you need to do to protect it. So, like I said, energy is everything. It's just basically whatever you got to do to protect that energy. It should be protected by any. Um, it's our most precious resource, so it deserves the utmost respect. And this is vital to your life. So, because the more you tolerate from the world, the more you separate yourself from your inner peace. So, think of protecting your energy as a safeguard and like the circles around yourself. And um, in this circle, your energy isn't wasted, but used wisely on what truly matters to you. This is the kind of life worth living. So basically, what this person is saying is that your energy, your peace is vital to your life. So protecting it is important. And just imagine drawing a circle around it where you can protect it. And that's basically just can you visualize or vision drawing a circle around it and protecting it. So you should value yourself. Uh, so think about it. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100. But the world comes at us fast these days. Demands and requests pouring the left and right, coming from the left and the right, from our work and communities, from our friends and families, from complete strangers, people we meet online and social media, Facebook, Twitter, X, TikTok, Instagram, all of those. So basically, um, these demands often come in with no regard to whether or not they're good for us or something that's going to change or be the best for us. They're from people who want your time, your money, your friendship, your energy, and ultimately, that's going to dip into your peace. So, the more you let these requests and demands and move in, the more you give yourself away, basically. So that's why you got to think about how you can protect it, because you got all of this stuff you come in encounter with. So find ways to protect it based on all these things that I'm naming. So the more you let these requests and demands in, the more you give yourself away. So keep doing this, and then one day, boom, it just could, it could be catastrophic, or it could you just blow up, or you just get that moment where you just can't take it no more because it's so much. And I understand that's why sometimes people walk away from their social media. They close it, walk away from it because it gets overwhelming. It's so much. It takes away from your energy and your peace, and that's really what it's doing. This person was talking about how there was a time in their life when they were spread too thin. So trying to take care of situations over here, people over there, and issues somewhere in between, trying to be everything everyone wanted him to be, or her to be, I'm sorry. But her life gained so much clarity when she began to feel the power in setting boundaries. When she claimed the right to say, nah, I ain't feeling that. Nah, I ain't doing that. Nope, we not doing that. I've seen people online say that. They'll post stuff like, look, I'm protecting my energy today. Nope, I'm moving on from that. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. So, but trying to be everything and everyone wanted you to be can be overwhelming. But their life gained so much clarity when they began to feel the power in setting, and like I said about setting those boundaries. So they put boundaries in place so that they could live basically live their best life. Like I say, we living your best life. That's a part of living your best life too. Not just going out kicking it, hookah, party, drink, smoke, club, friends. Protecting your peace, protecting your most important asset. So that's living your best life also, when you can protect that and you can find ways to keep that under wrap and put that circle or that bubble or whatever you call it around it. So so by putting that boundary around, some people kind of took offense to it, because now you're walking around here and you protect it. So you're watching your well-being. You're watching you're protecting your energy. So some people saw it as being cold, distant, or unhelpful, and that's fine. That was fine with this person, because they developed the skill so that they could live their best life. And if living their best life offends people, then basically you saying, I don't need to be around you. So if me or you living your best life, protecting your energy, and being not dealing with certain things offends people or rubs them the wrong way, then like basically one or two things: either they can handle it, deal with it, or just move on, and y'all just ain't meant to, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes. So so they said let's get one thing out of the way. I'm going to challenge you, or challenge yourself, and straight up, if this was easy, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Everybody would be doing it. Everybody wouldn't be going through what they go through. So you're gonna need basically thick skin. I always used to say I had somewhat thick skin. I ain't never been. I mean, everybody got feelings, but I always claim to be like, look, man, I get over stuff, and what thick skin usually means is you get past, you deal with stuff. But I guess sometimes that's not always good either. Is you constantly encountering stuff, so you have to have thick skin instead of getting away from it. But having thick skin is has always been kind of like my memo. I get over it, get past it, and But like I said, everybody got feelings. Everybody gonna deal with some stuff, and some stuff gonna get in, make somebody get in their feelings and so forth. But if you've already had that thick skin, then that's good. Uh, we can find a way with this book basically trying to help you add that to your bag. You want to build that bag up. Everybody say, I'm in my bag, you in your bag. Get your bag right. Your energy, your peace is part of in your bag. You know what I'm saying? So you got to flip the script. First of those tough truths is many of us are professional people pleasers, or triple P's, as we like to call them. Triple P's, worried about what other people think, and easily manipulated by the perception that they're letting someone down. So, but when you seek to, and that's usually when it comes to family. I mean, sometimes people are like that with their coworkers, maybe their boss, their manager, but you don't really have to be no people pleaser with your manager. I've always said, and it's always worked for me, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, putting in that work, making things happen, and sometimes, going above and beyond, then hey, we don't have to have no friendship. I ain't gotta be kissing up to you and doing none of that. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and productive. You happy with my production, my what I'm putting out, and that's where we can keep it at that. So I know I had said something like that before, that I got a small circle. So a lot of times at work, I ain't bumping elbows with everybody. So sometimes, like this book was saying, protecting your peace, sometimes it rubs people the wrong way. People get offended. But hey, that's for my best interest. And I'm not going to come in and be mean to you. I speak to you, good morning, all of that. But one thing I ain't going to do is we might not be getting all into that, buddy, or hanging out after work and all of that good stuff. So if you're a regional manager, or you're a co-worker or a subordinate, that's how I keep it. We keep it real with all the same people. I keep the same memo, the same way with everybody. So, but when you seek to please others above even yourselves, it almost leads to being drained, burnt out, or feeling stuck. So when you give it all away to others and leaving nothing in the tank for yourselves, how do you do that? So I'll play some clips here. So take a look at these clips, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna finish with this book. All right, here we're back. I'm gonna go back read back through this book here. Just got a chance to look at some of these videos here, but basically it's just kind of getting back to where we left off at. So how do you know if you've been there or you've been there? I believe this person said they believe they have one of the bigger hearts out there, and before they figured out how to create boundaries for themselves. And when I say, how do you feel that you, when I say, how do you believe that you've been there, meaning burnt out, drained, or just too much from giving up your peace. So ways to, before you can figure out how to protect your own peace, this person used to get in a lot of trouble, and but now, they figured it out. They refuse to let their peace and their energy get tainted. So how did they do it? So first of all, it was a must for them to grow emotional intelligence. That's the big word now, emotional intelligence in the workforce. Emotional intelligence. And it was a must for them to figure out how to not only create but stand firm on their boundaries. As they like to say, I love helping people with their problems until their problems become your problem. And this is usually family. So family members, you helping people until now all of a sudden their problems become your problems, and then now you got an issue. Now it might step into your peace. Now I start messing with your energy. So you just gotta find a way to pick your battles. I mean, you want to help your people, but you just gotta find a way to pick your battles and understand that what getting into it, what it might bring. So I mean, I like helping people with their problems until, but you just gotta know when to back out or let them say, look, you need to take this over for yourself. But this person said they believe many of us struggle with setting boundaries because we worry too much about, like what we said before, worried about too much about people think. Worrying, you had that guilt trip, your first cousins, your sisters, your brothers. Worry is the reason why people don't set boundaries. Guilt is the main reason. People don't set firm on them. Our ideas about self-worth more often come from others, how others see ourselves. So, but that's sad, but that's true. Others see us from how we see ourselves. If we were programmed this way, basically, if just basically, you say we were programmed this way, but we decided to look at what we want instead of what others want us to. It opens up to feelings where letting people down and failing to live up to their expectations. We start to feel we have to choose what they want or what we want in order to avoid their painful and guilty feeling. So that's, again, others see us from how we see ourselves. So do you battle with these negative feelings? You got to ask yourself that. So do you worry that you letting people down? Do you feel guilty when you can't show up for someone when they ask for you because you are choosing to show up for you? Or when you're stepping back and showing up for you, do they, you feel guilty? Do they get upset? If so, you have to come to the right place. Our first order of business in protect your peace process is to flip that script on them. Completely. 100, 360, whatever, however you want to do it, say flip it. You got to flip it on them. And so once you flip that script, then when you feel worry or guilt, it's not all the way bad, because it means that you really care. So you have a big heart and you're connected to the people around you. But what about yourself? You know what I'm saying? So don't you deserve that same level of care and connection with yourself. And pouring that love into others can't last when you are consistently pouring it back into yourself first. So basically, often we say yes when our energy is telling us to say no. We say sure when we aren't sure. But some of us feels what we need to do is in order to keep the peace. But let me ask you something. So basically, that's what they say. Let me ask you something. Are you really keeping the peace when you throw your own peace out of the window to help somebody out or to be involved in something you don't really need to be involved with? Does it make sense to help others keep their peace when doing that is direct cause of eliminating your peace? So So you gotta challenge yourself straight up. If this was easy, everybody would be doing it, but and we wouldn't be having this conversation like I said before. So let the real ones in. If you have people pleasing tendencies, you've been giving people unrestricted access to your time and energy. You're not protecting yourself. So it's no wonder you're feeling drained and depleted. Now think about an old castle for a minute. Like it has walls, towers, a deep moat. What do they call it? Moat, mount, whatever it is. But there's also a drawbridge to let people in at that right time and under the right circumstances. No more unwelcome surprises, visitors, right? So let's keep it, So let's just let's find a way to keep that peace. I mean, let me see here. But sometimes you got to remember, and this is kind of in closing, I don't want to talk about it, but you got to think about it. Sometimes when you say no to something that you really don't want to do, you're actually saying yes to yourself. So learning to say no is actually saying yes to yourself. So, and then you will deserve that yes on occasion. So, I mean, it's not saying be completely selfish, because that's a whole nother thing nowadays with the generations. It's just me all the time. It can't be about you all the time. But you also have to know how to protect your peace. And like I was saying, know when to say no. So, but if this was helpful, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna keep this thing moving. Y'all, please, I'll just hit the likes. If for the ones that haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. But like I said, if this was helpful, put some of the notes. I'm trying to get something going where we can do like a live and have some discussions and talk about a lot of this stuff. I know. I mean, I went to school. I got my bachelor's degree, a master's degree. So I study a lot of business. I remember studying a lot of psychology. And it's just kind of cool to kind of go back to some of this stuff and look at some of the stuff I learned in school about managing and dealing with people and the psychology of people and what they need to keep their motor going. So like I said, I want to get back to this, but I just hope everybody keeps it going. Enjoy your day. Keep the peace. And I always say, I hope all y'all keep it all going all well. Stay fit, stay healthy, try to eat the right things. But I'm gonna get back out of here, and until then, I'm gonna say peace. It's been a good one here. Check y'all out later. Deuces.